Hello everyone, this is Sai Pravan, and today we are going to discuss about some of the key functions or features in JavaScript Node.js. Those are callback, closure, promise, and async as await. Okay, so let's get started. So the first one which I have chosen to tell you is callback. So callback is nothing but a function which passes, which is passed as an argument to the another function. Okay, so actually in this example, as you can see, suppose in this function, let's see what the code is done over here. Okay, first the machine goes to the line 10, the compiler goes to the line 10, then the do homework function is called with math as a subject name, and the callback function has finished homework. Okay, so it immediately goes to the do homework, and now it prints this subject name or something like this. Okay, and then the callback function is called. So now it implements this finished homework function, and whatever code is present in it, it gets implemented. Okay, first it goes to the line 10, then it calls the function do homework, and the function do homework here calls the function finished homework. This is known as callback function. The do homework function calls the finished homework function. Okay, suppose here I'll just give you how it runs. Okay, npm space callback. I think there was a spelling mistake over here. Callback.js. Oh, sorry, it was node. Okay, it's node. No space. See over here, first it prints starting my math homework, then it prints I finished my homework. This is a very simple example to understand the callback. Now let's go to the next, that is the closure. As you can see, closure is also very easier to understand. Simply saying, the inner function can now have the ability to access three types of elements, or three types of variables, or three types of data. Okay, first is normal global, it's accessible, right? Next, it's the own local. The third main is its own parent functions variables. Okay, suppose you can see the example. Okay, in this, the inner function can access the value of x which is present in the outer function which is its parent. Okay, it can easily access. Let me show you the output for this. Let me just closure. Over here you can see it's printed 1 and 2. Without accessing this the value of x, it's not the it cannot print, right? 1 and 2. Okay, so you can see that the value of x is printed first 1 because x plus plus is in before the line of console.log, and next 2. Okay, that's as simple as it is. Next, let's go to the promise.js file. Okay, now I'm going to teach you the concept of promises. See, actually, if you want to run JavaScript in asynchronous mode, promises are one of the mostly used nowadays. Okay, so what does this do? Simply saying over here, let's take the function of fetch data. Okay, this fetch data has a promise where there are two types. Resolve or reject. Promise is nothing but the code that gets executed in the future. So this promise has resolve and reject. If it is succeeded in resolving the problem, then it it implements the resolve, or else reject. Okay, that's as simple as it is. Now over here, if we give the variable success is equal to true, and if success, that is the true, actually true, okay, then it resolves, right? Data fetched successfully. Now we have created a fetch data method where we are given these messages. Okay, now let's just implement it to check how promises actually work. Promise.js. See, you can see the message data fetched successfully. Now let me just change it for you. False, let it be false. Now let's implement it again. As you can see, failed to fetch data. This is why promises are generally used nowadays for the asynchronous functions. Okay, now you might get it out that how to implement these asynchronous functions normally or something like that. So you can see it here. That's our last topic, and then we are going to move on seeing how to create a to-do list application using this closure function. Okay, as you can see, the code is very simple. First, it returns a promise where we are given only result. There is no reject over here. Okay, then we are given a function set timeout where the result data fetched, and then we're going to wait for 1000 milliseconds. That is a second over here. Then we have created an asynchronous function where we are simply given the data is equal to await fetch data. Then we console our log of data. We printed it in the console. So what actually happens over here is first data fetched is printed in the console. Then after a set timeout, we have set it as 1000 milliseconds, right? So after the 1000 milliseconds, it prints the data. That's as simple as that. Okay. Now, first suppose let's try to print this. More space. Async.js. Data fetched. Here the data is not present, so I mean the data is fetched over there, but it's printed after 1000 milliseconds. So these are the basic concepts that I want to teach you. Now let's just go for the recap or a quick summary of this. First, we have checked what are callbacks. Callbacks actually are the function are where the functions actually call another functions. Okay. Next, the closures where the inner functions can actually access the variables of outer functions. Next, the promises. Promises are latest models of asynchronous where we can easily access it, and if there is any if the code is runs well, okay, then it's good. I mean resolve is run, else it rejects. Lastly, the async await where await actually pauses the execution of the code such that it actually goes for the data, fetches it, and then comes back. Okay, so here, so in the display data we went, and in the first line itself we used await where we fetch the data from the another function. Until then the rest of the lines are not run. Okay, after which it is returned to this function, then we go for console.log of data. Simple. Now let's actually go for the main part. Just wait a second. Yeah, this is fine. This is actually the to-do list which I created. This is actually the code. The implementation part. We are not given any design or something. This is how we give a function for to-do list using closures. So what I have done. Okay, let me just briefly explain you the code. First, you can go to the below part where this is a thing that was given to us already. So first we have created a function call. Then over here we are given a formatted date. Next, firstly we have created a date. Next, before today is equal to formatted date, we have set it into a format. Next, we have created a variables of yesterday and tomorrow for making it easier in the upper function, where yesterday is such that a new date or set of day to day dot get date of -1. That's what yesterday means. We have got today's date, and we are just done it -1, right? Okay, and tomorrow we are done it +1. Next, these are some of the inputs that we are given to add. Next, we are just this is how we are gonna print our final output in the console. Okay, so you might not understand what it is, so let's go to the function first. These are actually the functions: overdues, item due today, due later. These are the these are the they're going to say create objects for those functions, and the functions are overdue, due today, and due later. So what are these three features? Simply saying, due today. Overdue is something where suppose you're gonna in a to-do list you have created a task for suppose a particular date, and the date has been passed. Then it's called overdue. Due today is something where you have to complete it by today. Due later, okay, you have some more time, it may be tomorrow. That's what these features are. Okay, now let me explain you the function. First, we have created a to-do list function. This is the outer function or the main function, inside which there are many inner functions. First, there is a we have created an empty list. Okay, then we're gonna create a function called add, where we are gonna push the item that we have received into the all. Suppose over here in the you can see we have created 5 inputs, right? These 5 inputs are added over here. Next, the markup function. Just we are going to click all of index.completed is called true. All are not, as you can see here, we are given completed as false, right? In order to make it true, we actually use this. Next, the function is overdue. Okay, so in order to use this overdue, what we have done is we have just filtered from the list where the due date is yesterday. Simple as that. Because we have assigned the value of yesterday, that is the day -1, etc. We have just used a filter in order to obtain all the values or all the list elements or list items where the due date is yesterday. And in the due today, we have filtered it to be due date is equal to today, and due later also same. Okay. Next function is how to make this in an order such that we can actually print it into the console. Okay, first we are given an empty variable. Output is called empty. I mean just an empty string. Now for every item in the list, what we are gonna do is we are gonna create a new variable comp that is completed actually. Okay, completed, or you can say status. Okay, then we have checked whether if the items status is completed or not. If it is completed, then we are gonna assign the value of x. I mean, as you can see, this symbol over here, x within the brackets, such that it looks like there's somewhat mark in it, and else it is empty. There's nothing in it. Okay. Now similarly for the date. For the date, what we actually do is item dot due date is not equals to today. Then we print the due date. Okay. Suppose if the due date is not today, then we're gonna assign the due date to be printed. Else there is no need of it. Just give it like today is the last date. That's what you will understand. Okay, if you didn't print it. And the below code for output, if output is empty, okay, we'll assign the values over here. That is the completed or not symbol, which is here, and then we are gonna give some space. Then item dot title, that is the task which you have given over there, and finally the date. The date will only print if the due date is not today. And then after writing this entire line into the output, if you want to give to another input, then we'll use the new line and then enter all these details. Okay, and finally this function returns the output variable. Now at the end, what you're going to print return is all list, add function, markers complete, overdue, due today, due later, to do to display list. All these functions are returned. Okay, and over here you can see first the where overdues. First we have created a object for the overdue function. Then we have inputted all the values. Then we have outputted it. Okay. Similarly for the rest of the two. In simply saying over here what the finally prints. First it prints the overdue. Then what are the elements that are overdue? It gives in three. You can say 3 columns. The first column is whether it is completed or not. The second column is the name or title. The third column is what's the date. And for due today, there's no date over there. That's going to be printed. Okay. So let's just implement this code first in integrated terminal. Node space index.js. Okay. As you can see from the inputs, suppose the due date is yesterday, then it's in the overdue. Then you can see the parent ones where the due date is today. It's not present in the overdue, it's present in the due today parent. Okay, and the completed is true, so there is a X mark in it, right? Suppose if it's not today, then it's going to print the parent over here, the date. So that's the main part over here, right? Because the date over here is tomorrow. So that's the code that we have used, and that's the concept of closures we have used in order to create the function for Todolist. So thanks for watching the video. I hope you understood. And leave a like and make sure you subscribe my channel. Thank you so much.